Hi guys, so today we will be singing Savior Redeemer of My Soul, which was written by Orson F. Whitney. 2 Nephi 1:15 says, "But behold, the Lord hath redeemed my soul from hell. I have beheld his glory, and I am encircled about eternally in the arms of his love." But before we get into it, we just wanted to share a vision that Orson F. Whitney wrote that he had of the Savior. He said, "I seemed to be in the Garden of Gethsemane, a witness of the Savior's agony. I saw him as plainly as ever I have seen anyone. Standing behind a tree in the foreground, I beheld Jesus with Peter, James, and John as they came through a little wicket gate at my right. Leaving the 3 apostles there, after telling them to kneel and pray, the Son of God passed over to the other side, where he also knelt and prayed. It was the same prayer with which all Bible readers are familiar. O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt." As he prayed, the tears streamed down his face, which was toward me. I was so moved at the sight that I also wept, out of pure sympathy. My whole heart went out to him. I loved him with all my soul, and longed to be with him as I longed for nothing else. Presently he arose, and walked to where those apostles were kneeling, fast asleep. He took them gently, awoke them, and in a tone of tender reproach, untinctured by the least show of anger or impatience, asked them plaintively if they could not watch with him 1 hour. There he was, with the awful weight of the world's sins upon his shoulders, with the pangs of every man, woman, and child shooting through his sensitive soul, and they could not watch with him 1 hour. Returning to his place, he offered up the same prayer as before, then went back and again found them sleeping. Again he awoke them, re-admonished them, and once more returned and prayed. 3 times this occurred, until I was perfectly familiar with his appearance, face, form, and movements. He was of noble stature and majestic mien, not at all the weak, effeminate being that some painters have portrayed, but the very God that he was and is, as meek and humble as a little child.
All at once the circumstances seemed to change, the scene remaining just the same. Instead of before, it was after the crucifixion, and the Savior with the 3 apostles now stood together in a group at my left. They were about to depart and ascend into heaven. I could endure it no longer. I ran from behind the tree, fell at his feet, clasped him around the knees, and begged him to take me with him. I shall never forget the kind and gentle manner in which he stood, raised me up, and embraced me. It was so vivid, so real. I felt the very warmth of his body as he held me in his arms and said in the tenderest tones, "No, my son, these have finished their work. They can go with me, but you must stay and finish yours." Still I clung to him, gazing up into his face, for he was taller than I. I besought him fervently, "Well, promise me that I may come to you at the last." Smiling sweetly, he said, "That will depend entirely upon yourself." I awoke with a sob in my throat, and it was morning. That's just such a beautiful dream, showing the Savior's tender compassion and gentleness, and but also his strength and power and glory. And the words of this song really match that. They're just so beautiful, and so we're excited to share them with you today.